Turn the blink around. Slide out the pressure for a minute. All day I've been the main lane, getting tailgated by stress. Deadlines riding on my bumper, honking move, no second guess. Every how you doing felt like what you bringing to the table. Every smile a small performance, every final practice fable. Now the sun dipped under buildings, left the purple afterglow. And my chest still shifting gears like it forgot how slow can go. So I flipped that little lever, let the blink tick like a clock. Ease into the shoulder lane and let the universe unlock. Engine humming, soft confession, tires hissing over dust. I've been running on assumptions that my worth is in the trust. That if I'm not always useful, I'll get written off the map. That I gotta keep on giving even if I break my back. But the shoulder doesn't judge me for the pace I need tonight. Doesn't ask me for a reason, doesn't bathe me in its light. Just a stretch of rough forgiveness where I'm free to catch my breath, where I'm free to say I'm tired without justifying death. Shoulder lanes, gravel under wheels, 420, little refuge for the way my spirit feels. Blues guitar, whispering, smoke in the cab. I don't have to keep a speed to prove the value that I have. If tomorrow I rejoin them in that loud impatient train, I'll remember I can always pull into the shoulder lane. I replay a dozen moments from the week that just went by. All the times I bit my tongue when I was dying to reply. When they cracked a joke at someone, I just laughed to keep the peace. When they piled another task on and I signed it like a lease. I was scared of being difficult, of taking up some space. So I shrank into a yes man wearing someone else's face. But the stretch of faded asphalt doesn't need me to be small. Doesn't punish my refusal, doesn't dock me when I stall. I let music fill the cabin with a lazy vinyl hits. Let the hi-hat play reminders of the softest things I miss. Like the way my lungs feel bigger when I say not now, can't do. Like the way my shoulders loosen when I choose myself like you. I think back to younger versions who were never taught to rest. Only praised for pushing harder, never asked what felt the best. So they turned exhaustion sacred, turned collapse into a skill. Now I'm here negotiating every old inherited bill. Shoulder lane solace, gravel under wheels, 420, little refuge for the way my spirit feels. Blues guitar whispering, smoke in the cab. I don't have to keep a speed to prove the value that I have. If tomorrow I rejoin them in that loud impatient train, I'll remember I can always pull into the shoulder lane. Maybe peace ain't in the finish line, they draw a neon paint. Maybe saint ain't in the context of I worked until I faint. Maybe holy is the moment when you listen to your chest, hear it begging for a timeout and you grant that small request. So I sign a quiet treaty with the rumble of this car. I will not ignore the tremble just to chase a golden star. If my hands begin to shiver, if my thoughts begin to spin, I'll remember there is gravel where I'm welcome to pull in. When I finally merge back over, join the slow lane on the right. I'm not cured of all my worries, but they're softer in the light. I don't floor it out of guilt, I just ease into the flow, holding on to what the shoulder taught my overloaded soul. If a friend one day confesses that they feel like they might break, I'll remind them of the option that I never knew to take. Tell them you are not a breakdown just because you need to pause. You're a driver with a body that deserves a kind of cause. Street signs flicker passing sequence, exit numbers, miles to go. But beneath that information is a truth I now can know. I am worth a gentle journey even when no one can see. And the shoulder lane solace will be there again for me. Shoulder lane solace, gravel under wheels, 420, little refuge for the way my spirit feels. Blues guitar whispering, smoke in the cab. I don't have to keep a speed to prove the value that I have. If tomorrow I rejoin them in that loud impatient train, I'll remember I can always pull into the shoulder lane. Turn the blinker on, keep the lesson on. Night keeps rolling, I keep rolling, but the panic's slightly gone. If they ask me how I didn't lose my mind inside that strain, I'll say I learned to hit the signal for a shoulder lane. Heart already racing for the engine, even wave. Ignition insecurity, shiver in my hand. Every turn of this small metal feels like more than I can stand. Cause I've tied my destination to my value for so long. If I stall out on a driveway, I start thinking I am wrong. Friends flex, early bird on grind. Post they hustle at first light. I'm still sitting in the driver's seat, negotiate fireflight. Checking mirrors, checking messages, checking if I'm still enough. Like the way I twist this key decides if I am weak or tough. But the dashboard staying silent doesn't mean that I am less. It just means this little vessel needs some kindness, needs a rest. So I breathe before I crank it, let the tension melt a bit. Let my chest slow down from sprinting over things that may not hit. Purple dawn behind the buildings paints a bruise across the morn. And I realize half my worry came from how I've been reborn. As a servant to an image that can never quite be fed. As a prisoner of the feeling that I'm always just a thread. Ignition insecurity, I feel it in my bones. 420 little ritual to rewrite these overtones. Blues keys dropping gentle, bass like steady ground. I don't have to start the day at full speed just to stick around. If I'm slower to get moving than the ones I see online, that's okay, I lock in when I'm ready. Not when fear says you're behind. Not when fear says you're behind. I remember being younger, watching idols on the screen, talking 5 a.m. routines like that's the only way to dream. So I forced my eyes wide open when my body begged for sleep. Drank anxiety like coffee, made my peace a thing to keep. When the engine whined in protest, cause I skipped too many checks, I call myself dramatic, blame my heart for all the wrecks. Didn't change the oil of habits, didn't rotate toxic friends. Just expected sheer momentum to erase the twists and bends. Now I sit here in the driveway, letting sunlight fill the dash. Ask myself some softer questions, and how quick can I make cash? Like what version of you really do you wanna show today? And who gets the keys to hurt you, who gets blocked along the way? I ain't gotta prove I'm hungry by devouring my joy. Ain't gotta prove I'm driven by destroying inner boy. I can hustle from a heartbeat that is steady, not in fear. I can turn this key with kindness once my motives all are clear. Ignition insecurity, I feel it in my bones. 420 little ritual to rewrite these overtones. Blues keys dropping gentle, bass like steady ground. I don't have to start the day at full speed just to stick around. If I'm slower to get moving than the ones I see online, that's okay, I lock in when I'm ready. Not when fear says you're behind. Not when fear says you're behind. Maybe there's no medal for the earliest to burn, no award for most exhausted or for fastest crash and turn. Maybe trophies I should chase or quiet moments I choose me. Like the day I skipped the race just cause my soul needs to be free. So I offer up this morning to the part of me that shakes, and we'll start when we are ready, not for other people's stakes. Turn the key not as a weapon but as handshake with my ride. Promise we will go together, mind and motor side by side. Finally the engine catches low, growl under my feet. Not a roar of force ambition, just a hum that feels complete. I roll slowly out the driveway, keep it gentle down the street. No performing for the neighbors, no pretending I'm elite. If I hit a red corner, I don't curse it like before. Let it be
be a tiny breather, not a personal report. Let my fingers tap the rhythm on the leather of the wheel. Thankful I can even notice how my choking starts to heal. I might still have days I panic when the starter flinches twice. Still might compare my ignition to somebody else's price, but I keep coming back to mornings where I sat and didn't rush, where I chose to wait for wisdom instead of driving on a crush. Ignition, insecurity, I feel it in my bones. 420, little ritual to rewrite these overtones. Blues keys dropping gentle, bass like steady ground. I don't have to start the day at full speed just to stick around. If I'm slower to get moving than the ones I see online, that's okay. I lock in when I'm ready, not when fear says you're behind. Not when fear says you're behind. Pull on to the main road, sun climbing up the side, but the knot inside my stomach loosen slightly on the ride. If they ask me how I learned to stop mistaking slow for weak, I'll say one morning in the driveway with an ignition scared to speak.
New night, same road. Different way this time.
Show me your dominance.
Ash on the odometer, tiny gray along the dash. Little proof of every moment that I pulled over to crash. Not the metal, not the bumper, but my chest against the day. All the times I had to park it just to see if I'm okay. Purple skyline in the distance, city glimmer far away. Cabin smelling like confession mixed with gasoline and clay. Tatted fingers on the wheel, veins glow violet in the light. Lo-fi drums behind my thoughts like thunder learning to be slight. I've been driving with a checklist sitting heavy on my knees. All the things I should have done, all the people I should please, but the gauge is almost empty and my soul is even less. So I trade another mile for just a second less of stress. Flick the ash and watch it settle by the numbers creeping on. Every spark a little sunrise for a part of me that's gone. Every smear a little gravestone for a version that I shed. For the times I called it progress when I only ran from dread.
Ash on the odometer, burn marks on my ears. 420 little rituals to evaporate my fears. Blues guitar floating, bass holding tight. I don't need to outrun everything to make it through the night. If tomorrow I'm no further on the map that they prefer, I'll still know I left some weight and all this ash on the odometer. All this ash on the odometer.
I remember counting miles like they prove I'm not behind. Like the further that I travel, more respect I finally find. Posted pictures from the journey, never showed the panic shakes. Never showed the roadside breakdowns where I questioned all my stakes. Car became a moving office for the secrets in my chest. I would clock in with the seatbelt, try to hide, I need a rest. Turn the music up to drown out all the what if I'm not enough. Push the limit just to say I did and call that chaos tough. But these numbers on the cluster don't record the nights I stayed alive when self-destruction looked like such a sweet escape. Don't reflect the quiet battles, don't display the unseen wins. Like the time I turned back home instead of calling Neo sin. So I start a new metric written only in my head. Every time I slow down early counts more than what I fled. Every choice to pull the safety when the flashing starts inside. Add 1,000 to my mileage in a way they can't divide.
Ash on the odometer, burn marks on my ears. 420 little rituals to evaporate my fears. Blues guitar floating, bass holding tight. I don't need to outrun everything to make it through the night. If tomorrow I'm no further on the map that they prefer, I still know I left some weight and all this ash on the odometer. All this ash on the odometer.
Maybe distance isn't linear,
Maybe healing isn't straight. Maybe 5 slow hopeful minutes beat a year lived out in hate. Maybe every tiny flake that drops and disappears from view is a piece of shame I carried that no longer needed glue. So I bless these messy ashes like a weird imperfect snow. Let them settle on the plastic where the factory numbers glow. Turn this dashboard from accountant into witness in the frame. From how far have you been running and the look you didn't end. And the look you didn't end. By the time I reach the exit, carved in letters I know well. All the pressure to keep racing doesn't ring the same old bell. I can roll into my driveway with the tank not fully filled, with the to-do list still unfinished, with some dreams yet unfulfilled. Cause the victory ain't the mileage, it's the fact I'm still in here. Still deciding what to leave behind with every little smear. Still allowing space for softness where I used to only grind. Still replacing I'm a failure with I'm trying to be kind. I brush ash off with my thumb, let it fall between the seats, like a secret little ceremony hid beneath suburban streets. And I tell them I was version of me looking at this panel. Don't forget that every fleck you see is proof you dropped the sketch.
Ash on the odometer, burn marks on my ears. 420 little rituals to evaporate my fears. Blues guitar floating, bass holding tight. I don't need to outrun everything to make it through the night. If tomorrow I'm no further on the map that they prefer, I still know I left some weight and all this ash on the odometer. Kill the light, step outside. Let the cool air clean my lungs. Leave the ghost locked in the console with the songs I haven't sung. If they ask me how I learned to drive without that constant spur, I'll say I started reading stories in the ash on the odometer.
Click. One little sound holding all this metal still.
Parking brake prayer pulled up just outside my block. Street lights, humming gospel while the wheels just had to stop. I've been coasting on momentum that belonged to yesterday, letting autopilot carry me through everything I say. Hands still wrapped around the wheel like they scared to let it go. Cause if I'm not always steering, who am I and will they know? Used to only stop the car when there's something to attend, when the world requested presence, when a crisis called my friend. But tonight I stop for nothing, no demanding, no event, no emergency to justify the space that I have spent. Just a quiet little corner where the asphalt meets the curb, where I finally treat my heartbeat like a thing that might deserve. Lo-fi loop inside the speakers, hazy snares and lazy keys. Purple city in the mirror, windows open to the breeze. I pull that lever till it clicks, feel the chassis settle down like a soldier dropping armor on the outskirts of the town. Park and brake prayer, I ain't going anywhere. 420 little altar in this worn out driver's chair. Blues in the air, smoke in the night. I don't have to be in motion to believe that I'm alright. If tomorrow asks for progress, I'll just nod and leave it there. Cause tonight my greatest movement was this park and brake prayer.
I think about the times I saw pause as blasphemy. Raised on use you every minute, don't waste opportunity. So I stacked my days with favors, left no minute undesigned. Filled the silence up with air and so I never hear my mind. Stood in line at empty parties, stayed too late at hollow bars. Gave my time to people driving me to crash site under stars. Even then when I got home I'd circle once around the block, as if stillness in the driveway would invite some kind of shot.
But this click becomes a ritual to say you're safe, you're here. Nothing's burning without you, let your nervous system clear. And I watch my thoughts arrive like little cars at 3 a.m. Some are taxis full of memories, some are trucks of shame again. Instead of chasing or outrunning, I just watch them pass me by. Let them idle, let the
the stop sign, let them signal, let them try. If they need my full attention, they can circle one more time. I won't sprint into the freeway just cause one horn hits a chime. Parking brake prayer, I ain't going anywhere. 420 little altar in this worn out driver's chair. Blues in the air, smoke in the night. I don't have to be in motion to believe that I'm alright. If tomorrow asks for progress, I'll just nod and leave it there. Cause tonight my greatest movement was this parking brake prayer. Maybe faith is in the friction that can hold me when I shake. In the rubber, in the cable, in the simple human break. Not in constant holy hustle, not in never letting up, but in pulling to a standstill just to refill my own cup. So I whisper, if there's heaven, it can meet me in this seat. Not just in some quiet loft or kneeling at a preacher's feet. It can find me in this hatchback with the hazard lights on mute, where I'm honest as I've ever been, with no need to prove I'm cute. By the time I ease it down, take the handle off its hold, there's a quiet in my chest I don't remember being told. Not a silence made of emptiness, but space I didn't have. Like my lungs have found new footage, like my heart can finally laugh. I roll into my driveway with the same old daily weight. Bills and messages and questions still await me at the gate. But I know I got a checkpoint only 2 blocks down the hill, where the world can keep on spinning while I practice being still. And if some night down the future I feel panic start to rise, feel the tears behind my ribcage, feel the static in my eyes, I won't force myself to handle, I won't gun it through the fear. I remember there's a lever I can pull, the rest right here. Parking brake prayer, I ain't going anywhere. 420 little altar in this worn out driver's chair. Blues in the air, smoke in the night. I don't have to be in motion to believe that I'm alright. If tomorrow asks for progress, I'll just nod and leave it there. Cause tonight my greatest movement was this parking brake prayer. Engine cool, street dim, stairs creep beneath my weight, but I'm climbing with a softness that I didn't have of late. If they ask me where I learned to turn, stopping in to care, I'll say one night on my own block, saying a parking brake prayer. Parking brake prayer. Same route, different reason tonight. Headlights on my healing, paint the pavement soft and gold. Every line a little runway for the stories I don't hold. I've been tugging on my breakdowns in the corners of my jaw, turning tears into sarcasm, just so no one sees the raw. Yeah. Purple clouds above the city like a bruise that wouldn't fade. Cabin smelling like confession, leather warm but unafraid. Tatted hand around the wheel, feel the tremor in my grip. Lo-fi drums behind my breathing, taking corners with the ship. I ain't running from a person, I ain't running from a car. I'm just driving with intention, not to outrun life at all. Let the asphalt be a therapist that never writes me notes. Let the smoke spell out the questions I keep swallowing like quotes. What if I was never broken, just exhausted and misread? What if half the things they label crazy kept me safe instead? What if needing reassurance doesn't make me any less? Headlights trace these heavy questions on the face of my distress. Yeah, headlights on my healing, cutting through the hate. 420 little flashlight on the bars I never praised. Blues guitar floating, bass keeping warm. I don't have to be all better just to weather this storm. If tomorrow I still struggle, that's a story still revealing. But tonight I'm finally driving with these headlights on my healing. Yeah. I remember every season I was praised for being strong. Translation, you don't complain, you keep our comfort moving on. Love the way you never trip, you're so calm, you're built for this. They were clapping for the case bars, not the bird they might have missed. So I learned to hold it steady while my hands were going numb. Learn to nod and say it's nothing when my body came undone. Every late night spiral treated like a bug I had to squash. Never like a cry for safety from a heart that saw too much. Now the freeway signs above me glow like options I can choose. Not commandments I must follow or I'm destined just to lose. I can take the scenic exit, I can circle back to home. I can cancel half my plans and still not turn to dust or foam. I repeat that like a mantra as the baseline hugs my chest. Cancellation isn't failure when your nerves are begging rest. When your ribs become a drumline you can't silence with a grin. That's the body pulling fire alarms, not weakness, that's a friend.
Yeah, headlights on my healing, cutting through the haze. 420, little flashlight on the parts I never praise. Lose it all floating, base keeping warm. I don't have to be all better just to weather this storm. If tomorrow I still struggle, that's a story still revealing. But tonight I'm finally driving with these headlights on my healing.
Maybe therapy's not couches, maybe grace is not a hymn. Maybe both are in these midnights where the city starts to dim. Where you let the quiet tell you what your mouth refused to say. Where you trace the shape of panic just to learn a gentler way. So I aim these little beams not at some perfect distant goal, but at puddles in the roadway of my nervous pasty soul. Shining light on every pattern that's been tripping up my tires. From the yes I didn't mean to the approval I acquired. By the time I hit the river where the water mirrors sky, I could feel a softer rhythm tapping out beneath my sides. Still some thunder on the edges, still some questions in the air. But I'm not pretending empty, I'm not faking, I don't care. I pull over, leave the low beams on and watch them kiss the guards. See the glow on rusted metal like compassion on a scar. And I promise to the kid inside who thought he had to cope, I will not turn off these headlights just to make them think I'm dope. We can cry and still be worthy, we can shake and still be art. We could cancel and reschedule and still have a beating heart. Then I shift back into drive, roll away but keep the feeling. Knowing now I got a compass in these headlights on my healing.
Headlights on my healing, cutting through the haze. 420, little flashlight on the parts I never praise. Blues guitar floating, bass keeping warm. I don't have to be all better just to weather this storm. If tomorrow I still struggle, that's a story still revealing. But tonight I'm finally driving with these headlights on my healing. Engine cools later on, but that glow stays in my chest, like the echo of a promise that I'll treat myself with rest. If they ask me where I learned to stop concealing what I'm feeling, I'll say, out there on a back road, with my headlights on my healing. Yeah.
Windows crack, volume low. It's me and this plastic breeze between the seats.
Center console confessions, little altar by my thigh. Holding lighters, crumpled change and all the thoughts I let drift by. Every drive I've ever taken, it's been right here in the middle. Catching ashes from my cope and catching echoes of my fiddle. Tonight I slide the cover back and stare into that small black rectangle of storage where I've hidden half my call. Old receipts from tired mornings, broken pens from frantic notes. Half a joint from that one evening when I swore I'd chill my throats. I've been dropping guilt and habit in this pocket like a pit, telling me you'll deal with it while I floor it just a bit. But the slow jam in the speaker says we're not out running more. Says tonight we open drawers, we always slamming, just ignore. Purple haze beyond the windshield like a bruise but gentle dawn, while my fingers fish for secrets underneath this plastic foam. Find a scribble sticky label, don't bring this up, let it go. Funny how a tiny note can weigh more than what I show.
Center console confession, laid out in the light. 420 little truths I kept just out of sight. Loser chords floating, smoke in the frame. I'm sorting every never mind and calling it by name. If tomorrow I want peace in my connections and directions, I gotta start tonight with these center console confessions.
There's a wristband from a funeral I drove to in the rain. Never cried inside the chapel, held it down to look okay. But on the way back to the city, every song just sounded wrong. So I gripped this wheel in silence, try not to fall apart too long. Dropped the band into this pocket like I drop a piece of trash. Told myself no time for grieving, you got deadlines, you got cash. But my chest been holding vigil for a goodbye that I skipped. And this rubber faded wristband is the truth that almost slipped. Next I find a tiny charger, true from nervous curbside waits. Nights I sat outside an address, wonder if they'd reciprocate. Scrolling through their recent stories, looking for my face or name. Feeling small each time I realized I was side quest to their game. Every twist of that cheap cable was me twisting round my worth. Letting how fast they responded be the measure of my earth. So I coil it with compassion, place it gently on the seat. Whisper you don't hold my value, you were just a symptom B, yeah.
Center console confession, laid out in the light. 420 little truths I kept just out of sight. Glued your chords floating, smoke in the frame. I'm sorting every never mind and calling it by name. If tomorrow I want peace in my connections and directions, I gotta start tonight with these center console confessions, yeah.
Maybe honesty ain't just the words I say to someone else. Maybe it's the quiet moments I stop gaslighting myself, admitting yeah it kinda hurt. I wanted more than what I got. I deserved a softer ending than a lefty red forgot. So I treat this plastic chasm like a tiny wooden pew. Fold my hands around the steering wheel and tell myself it's true. I was loyal to the wrong ones cause I didn't know my wealth. But I'm learned to choose people who remember I got health. I put the wristband in the visor where the sunrise gonna hit. Give my grief a front row window, not a hidden dusty pit. Tell that younger me who rushed it we can cross them on the drive. We don't have to keep pretending that you're lucky just to survive. I stashed the Chudy up charger in a bag marked lessons learned. Not as trash but as reminder of the love I finally earned. Where response time ain't a metric for how worthy that I be. Where I don't refresh a screen just to feel like I can breathe. Then I sweep the random clutter from this console to the floor. Vacuum space for newer habits I ain't practiced much before. Like saying that common stung, I felt lonely in that room. Can we talk about what happened when I'd rather just presume? By the time I slide the cover shut it feels a little light. Like that plastic priest between the seats gave me some kind of right. Not absolution, not perfection, but permission to be real. Permission to bring my confessions out the middle of the steel.
Center console confessions, laid out in the light. 420 little truths I've kept just out of sight. Losing chords floating, smoke in the frame. I'm sorting every never mind and calling it by name. If tomorrow I want peace in my connections and directions, I gotta start tonight with these center console confessions.
Yeah. Gear and drive, lid closed, but the habit's cracked and clear. I'm not leaving every secret in that pocket trapped in gear. If they ask me how I started speaking up about my lessons, I'll say alone one purple evening with center console confession.